In marketing, we're all hearing constantly about Gen Z, and rightly so, because Gen Z is the future. But are the stats we're hearing really telling the full story? To be successful, we need to dive deeper and understand not just what, but also why Gen Z thinks and acts the way it does, and what this means for capturing attention while striking the right tone. Hi everyone, and welcome to Gatesman's Gen Z Reframed video series, where we'll be sharing out results from our recent research study into the Gen Z mindset and be providing insights and tips to help you better market to this important generation. I'm Susan English, Director of Strategic Communications at Gatesman, and one of my jobs at the agency is to make sure our teams are in tune with key trends so they can better guide and problem solve for our clients. Knowing the importance of the Gen Z audience, we've been placing a dedicated focus on understanding this important generation. And recently, we captured our work in a research study we titled Gen Z Reframed, Common Conceptions and Context. We selected this name because the project significantly reframed our view of Gen Z, and we think it will for you too. In this video series, I'll be walking you through the research, but if you want to see the full study and be able to read some of the slides with the teeny tiny font that we'll be referencing throughout, just hit me up. I'm happy to send you the full report. So let's start with why it seems like everyone is focused on Gen Z these days. Why all the hype? Well, because, quite frankly, Gen Z deserves our attention. Even if we're not directly marketing to them, which many of us are, we are working with them or raising them. I have 2 Gen Z children myself, one in high school and one in college, so the impact of this generation is never far from our minds. And the stats do back this up. Gen Z is officially the largest group alive, representing 26% of the global population and 2 billion people worldwide. And they have incredible buying power, $143 billion worth. They now make up more than 20% of the US population and approximately 40% of all consumers. From an employer perspective, Gen Z is projected to make up 27% of the U.S. workforce by 2025, and they're anticipated to work 16 jobs across 6 careers. As marketers, most of us are familiar with the basic demos. We know that Gen Z is currently aged 12 to 27 and is the most diverse generation, both in terms of race and also sexual orientation and gender identity. We may even know some of the basic psychographics, understanding that Gen Z overall is concerned, progressive, and anxious. But at Gatesman, we want to go deeper than these surface-level statistics to understand if the trends we're reading are on target or if there is more than meets the eyes to this hugely influential group. After all, if Gen Z is setting the tone for the future, we need to get it right. So we undertook a research initiative, including 3 key elements. We started with secondary research to identify meaningful trends. We swept news and social content to collate insights from the most recent, relevant, and well-executed survey and reports available. We conducted independent analysis, taking data we had access to from MRI Simmons, Meltwater, and more to validate and/or challenge those current trends. And finally, we shared our findings with the Gen Z focus group to help put those trends into perspective. The results really did take us by surprise. We found within secondary research, there was actually a lot of consistency. This generation may be diverse in background, but is very uniform in belief, so has consistent behavior patterns, which seem to make for clear-cut headlines. However, in practice, the way Gen Z is largely described in the research is not necessarily how they view themselves. Our research report provides balanced insights into Gen Z trends by looking at the trends reframed through the lens of population-level shifts in personality and with the benefit of first-hand perspectives from Zers themselves. Here's a preview of some of the insights.
I'm 22 and I'm Gen Z.
And I am Gen Z.
And I'm Gen Z.
And I'm Gen Z.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So true.
Yeah.
You're seeing who I earlier.
No, you.
No.
You sure?
Progressive.
Opinionated.
Open-minded.
It's not even sensitive, it's more so like aware.
More and more people are realizing you don't have to go to college to be successful.
Like the debt's getting higher, I feel like, so it's getting more questioned.
Besides that, like seeing influencers on TikTok who like aren't doing the typical 9 to 5, that makes you want to like quit your job and like go travel or something. Like I feel like that's a big part of our generation.
I feel like if you are doing something you really love to do, you can do the 9 to 5. Because me personally, fun fact, I'm 18 and I work a 9 to 5.
There was a lot more pressure on getting married earlier, younger, before, and now there's less pressure, so it seems like career comes first, but it's not necessarily true. It's just kind of like the norms now.
I'm a sales shopper. I just go straight to the back of the store.
Especially with the trend of thrifting and like secondhand buying.
I feel like it humanizes the brand also, if they have like something to say.
I think a lot of brands are trying to in like a genuine way. There's some that are doing it to say they did it, and there's others that are like actually trying, and I've seen it like.
The smaller influencers are like more impactful to me personally.
I don't feel like it's the popular influencers that are influencing Gen Z. I feel like it's more Gen Z is finding people on the internet that they like, and these people on the internet have recommendations.
Therapy isn't just for those that have like really traumatic events. It's just for maybe just everyday normal people. It's just sometimes need therapy.
So I don't feel like we're more mentally unstable than any other generation. I just feel like we are creating a space where more people can talk about it and more people can relate about it and more people can recognize like, hey, I do have this issue, and we're getting rid of the stigma against it.
At the end of the day, you have to understand your audience. Like you have to understand like what they're interested in and how it relates to them, because otherwise you're just gonna miss the mark entirely.
Well, you heard it right from our Zers. It is important to understand how to relate to Gen Z so we don't miss the mark. So stay tuned to hear more from our focus group participants as we do a deep dive into 5 key topics: Gen Z's self-concept, the new American dream, purchasing behavior, the rise of social media, and Gen Z's mental health mission. Along the way, don't forget to submit any questions in the comments of this video. We'll be answering them in a live Q&A event to be announced soon. Next up, Gen Z's self-concept, where we'll dive deep into how Gen Z views itself, which provides us a frame to understand how they view the world. See you soon.